So I'm getting started with sort of like the next phase of my business and my life, where I'm approaching things with a little bit more tenacity and effort and confidence and truth, clarity, action. Not that I haven't had levels of those things, but at the same time, I haven't been. I've been sort of scattered. And so this is me trying to figure out the best way to build and sort of like break through this space of conceptualization, ideation, and kind of just like halfway trying to fully trying and materialization. So here I am in my garage, my kids upstairs, both of my kids and my partner, and I have focus music in my ears to stay focused. I'm going to go see a client and work with them shortly, and then trying to get stuff situated before that, because sometimes the internet is weird. I'm also working on, can't really see it, but the Mac Mini, and then some like cheap little screen, which I love this screen, but it's got like terrible lighting. It almost looks like sort of a yellowish, and there's not a camera on it, so my computer lacks like an initial like device camera, and so when I try to go record, which I can record the screen, which I'll do that. When I try to go record with my actual like camera, no camera detected, plug one in. So it shouldn't say that. It should give me my camera modal. And I need to have this loop that's been running that's pretty much useless. I need to go find it. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Delete. Delete. Stripe dashboard, settings, business, branding, upload the KK mark. Superseded. Cool. And I'm trying to simplify things. I'm going through the app and removing anything that's not, I wrote it yesterday, delete what isn't necessary or useful. So when something, like when I see a feature like the profile app, is it necessary or useful? Yeah, it's useful to some degree, so I'll let it slide. But when I open up the timer app, it's just terrible. It was like a single prompt made it into this thing. It works well, but it's also accessible in the utility bar, so I'm just going to keep it there and remove it as an app. Same thing with the Habits app. It's actually not even, it actually has like a database issue right now anyways, but it was pretty generic, maybe like a few prompts max. So I'm just going to remove it and add it later. And then I'll just keep going through, is it useful or necessary? And can I get it to a place where it's acceptable? Otherwise, just remove it. So that's been a big one that I've been working on. And then another thing I'm trying to figure out is like making these videos. I don't necessarily enjoy it. I feel like there's always some sort of hindrance that gets in the way of me feeling good about it, or yeah, there's always something that gets in the way. So here I'm just going to, I'm just going to commit to it. And that's something that I've been kind of finally getting to. But you can see me running through the process. I'm going to be taking social media seriously for 90 days. Can you make a marketing plan for this in a doc in Tekka workspace and help me decide if I should use an old business social account for YouTube, X, and IG, or start fresh. I want to optimize the algorithms. Daunting. Make a full roadmap, an itinerary, no slop, and utilize, make a new task list channel and add initial tasks and groups in this channel. And anything that Tasks app or the cloud in general is missing, let's sort of like itemize, etc. in build doc form and code block format so I can relay to the cloud. I want the Tasks app to be as functional and fluid and framed around our project and task workflows as Linear is. I'm also going to connect my headphones here, so I'm out of usage credits. Usage settings, usage, perfect. It always defaults back to Opus. Cool. So this is a good way of explaining and showing my product. It will sync to the cloud, or it should, but it will. Right now it's searching like Claude's memory, which is pretty useless. And that's basically the average, 90% of people that use Claude or more. This is basically the level of memory that they use. It's just like shallow context. Finding tools, syncing to the cloud, listing spaces, listing task lists. So now it's accessing a very vast memory, deep context, and a wide set of tools. You can see in here in Claude Code, it's using the cloud to list agent sessions, using the cloud to run agents, using the cloud to create documentation. PDF. I'm like, I don't even know what the PDF is that you're talking about. Match prices to existing site. Not sure what PDF is anyways. Founder-led Tekka content. I like that. Cool. I've got all these PRs that need to be pushed. 8 still PRs and GH to catch up on. Make moves accordingly. Thank you. So you can see here, this is one of my apps, the task app. And this is linear. And there's just things, like I like the spacing that linear has. I like the fact that the colors of the cards and those don't need to change, the cards and the columns. Tasks app. I want same spacing as linear task cards. Same unified column colors and cards. They don't need to change. I like the icons showing level of completion. Pie chart, see image. Match all things. So our tasks app is more aesthetic than linear. Okay. And then when my agents are running, I have like my direct agents, which are the chats here. Oh, what the heck? Oh, this is here. And so this chat, for example, and then I have that Claude Code chat here in cursor. And then if I go to the agents panel, you'll see these active agents running. So here's Claude Code, get writing guide, get doc contract. That is the one of these two, but one of them didn't claim presence. Let's see. Testing. I have two direct chats running. One of them didn't claim presence. Can you please figure out how we can make sure that the chats always claim presence? And ideally, we're able to use Claude and Claude code inside of the cloud. Where is that at? See image 3, you'll notice that there's only one direct chat, aka ORA, orchestrator, being shown. So there should be two of these clouds here. So each of these are working on something. So here's a Scout Opus 5 that is reconciling two different PRs. Here's just a, I don't even know what this one is doing. See if I can find it. Run agent. Here's one that's working on a point of sale issue and GPT 5.5, but that should be 5.6. It says 5.5, but should be accurately saying the model 5.6. Always needs to be right. No generic fillers or assumptive markers. So there's all these little things to fix and improve. And my job is essentially to just like conduct my agents. Agents are directives and basically active compute that's processing files and folders. There's this creator that I see getting pretty big, and he will stand in front of a whiteboard and yell at you and say, agents are files and folders. That's literally all they are. But if I handed you files and folders, then what? They would just sit there. Like an agent is the act and the directive and the energy behind how those get manipulated. So the movement, basically the read and the write of files and folders. So read, write, move. And then obviously write kind of is like delete and different actions. But that's actually what an agent is. So that's what these are. So if I go to these, like we'll go to this little designer, you'll see it's accessing files and folders, but it's the energy behind and the directive, which is a file, but it's following directions. So there's something beyond just files and folders. See, there we go. Claimed presence. So I'm slowly trying to get these to be more and more accurate. Like these are running on machines, machine sync. But if it shows the machine/device, we don't need machine sync chip/tag marker because it's implied. We should remove this chip/marker. So that will become an agent to go solve the marker, you know. So this will be useful for anyone because, well, I'm curious how this works. See, this is cool. So this one is a way to see where they're working. And I want this to evolve to be more like League of Legends. So if I go to like YouTube and I look at how League of Legends looks, I've never actually played it, but like you see these characters like, oh geez, you see these characters like running around on a terrain, this and this one and this one doing this thing with these tools, doing that thing in this place with that setting and these incentives and these directives. That's literally this. And so the way I want this to evolve is eventually like a full screen interactive experience where I'm seeing my agents going here and here and here, and I can like select these ones and say, do this, go here, and like, why are there no agents in this area? And the agents are being inefficient because they're doing this but not this. And so adding like a tangible map to the experience, I think, is going to be huge. So I'm really excited about that. Down here, I just clicked refresh. Every time that happens, it means a new update or set of updates is live. There's like a stale I need to go to that client. So the client I'm going to go to is this business. So I built them this website custom, and it's helped them a lot with sales, SEO. Like if I go to like Google Maps and I type in, not even Google Maps, just Google. And if I just type in cake, they're the first one that pops up. Or if I type in like cake near me, first one. So literally the first one that pops up. So this is all stuff that I've been doing for them. They've paid me, I think, $26,000 total for a year. And I built them a new website using the cloud. So they're migrating fully to the cloud now, off of Square point of sale too. So you can build apps in the cloud. So here's their new site. And then here's another client. I like how this one has a little bit more space there. Yeah, this needs to compress. And then here. When I scroll down the center section, that sticks needs to compress more, like pure pastries. So you have ample bottom section space to browse /shop/explore browse. So here's an example of working on like a custom website just via any chat. So whether it's GPT or Claude, as long as it's connected to the cloud, it will search memory, list apps, and then use the cloud to build and improve that site. So then I can go here to the website. Looks so good. And then I can say, hey, improve the SEO or add this product or change the inventory or whatever I want to say, and it will literally do it. See, it's literally doing it. And right now everything's running on this Mac Mini. And so you can see I can run like, go back to the agent panel. So I can run like 8 agents, maybe 12 agents at a time before it starts bogging down. I can go to the machines and I can look at the metrics. So it's at a large capacity of memory. So trying to optimize within like a normal person, this is 24 gigs of RAM. That's more than most people have on their computer. And so the average person that uses the cloud, they're not going to have maybe, they'll be able to have maybe like 3 or 4 agents running at a time, which is still good. So these are like normal chats. So this is like a normal person using their AI to work. But then when you're able to apply directives and basically initiate more agents, then you have like an advantage. You have leverage, you have arbitrage to be able to build at scale. So right now I have like a bunch of chats like working on things for me that I'll never have to talk to this agent, right? This agent's working, as you can see here. I could do 2 of them. So you see, close this, close that. So these agents are just working. I'll never touch these agents or talk to these agents because my direct agents and AI chats are doing this for me. So they said, hey, do this thing. And then these things they're going and doing that. So they're like sub-remote agents that are running on the machine. You see they're running on Mac Mini, on GPT, and this one's running on GPT as well. But I could go and find another one. See, this one's running on Opus. Is this one done? No, it's still going. So running on these machines, but I could have as many machines as I want. And I'll show you what I'm building as well. Here. I guess I have a message that I'll just show you here. So this is the Nimbus, and this is basically a machine about this big. And inside of this, we'll have a few different components, which I'll show you. So this is the bottom plate that will magnetize to the top plate. So you'll see here, there's little circles. Those are where magnets will go on the bottom as well. And then this will magnetize to those magnets. And that's the pedestal on the bottom. So that'll be like that. This top part will magnetize to the casing. And then this is the sled, which will mount inside of these holes right here, these 4 holes. And then this sled will bolt in there, and then the chip and all of the components will mount on top of that sled. And then this back panel will go right here on this back panel, and the cords will come out of that little hole that you see here. So the cords will come out there for power, and that's pretty much it. There's not really that many cords that you'll need because most of it will be wireless. It just connects to the Wi-Fi. You could have an Ethernet cable, and then maybe you would be able to mesh other computers together, but I don't really think you'd need to. And then here's like the rendering of the components on top of that sled. So you can see there, the sled is right there, and then the chip and the fan and the memory and everything is inside there. So I'm going to be building that to be able to run 200 agents at a time is the goal. So it's saying your browser's using a lot of memory as well. So I'll just close some stuff. All right. Well, yeah, thanks for watching.